coming up on the 50th year. Here, kind of record me. Coming up on the 50th year of the landing. We came down here to the river with when there was nothing. You know, the Riverwalk started in the 1930s as a flood control project, and then it was beautified. Put the sidewalks in. There was no businesses. The idea there were going to be little sidewalk cafes and things. And so it wasn't until the 1960s that we were a pioneering project. And we were the very first place. And this was the Casa Rio. Casa Rio was here also. And we started out as a jazz club. And it became a sensation. We were only open on weekends, though. And that was what we did in the early days. And that went along that way for some years. Eventually it became more nights a week. And so it gave me the opportunity to perfect the music that I want to do. It's always been a 7-piece traditional band, sort of a New Orleans sounding band, although we do a variety of other things. It's developed, we developed our own style. And so, hi.
Hi, did everybody get some of Jim's CDs from the show? Let me hand that out to you.
I have one.
Did you get one?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't get one.
Here, Lynn, let me carry this for you. Do you want to pass these down?
So, to continue, it's been going that way for non-stop all these years. It's pretty much the same philosophy. I don't own the business anymore. A couple of years ago I sold it to another guy who has a business across the river. But the band continues. It's pretty much the same thing. It's always been. It's a cabaret, very minor food, but jazz is what goes on. And then we broadcast. That's become a big deal here. For the last 21 years we broadcast across the country and now around the world with the internet. And so the music goes out every week, nationwide on 2 other radio stations and also on via the internet. You can hear it online, stream, and has been for years now. So that's generally the story. You're going to hear it in just a few minutes.
Real quick question. You know, you've been here for such a long time. The change on the Riverwalk, I mean, in the time that you've been here, even though you've sold the business, you're still playing music here. How have you seen that transition overall?
Well, to tell you the truth, personally, I liked it better in the earlier days. Of course, there was a lot less economic oomph to the whole thing. We were always having to be very resourceful to get some people to come, but it was not quite as glitzy. And the first 5 years we were here, there was not a single hotel on here, and there were probably about 10 businesses total. And then it gradually got bigger and bigger. 68, we got 2 hotels. And it gradually has gotten more and more. I think that from an aesthetic point of view, from my point of view, it hit its zenith somewhere from about in the 80s, and in my opinion, it's a fabulous, beautiful thing, the Riverwalk, and the river extension has just gotten bigger and better and more beautiful. But some of what I found so charming about some of it's become slightly diminished. That's my own personal opinion. Some of my people might not agree with that, but I kind of tend to see the whole city as having gone that way a little bit. I think that the city was more charming before we tried to force it to grow as much as we did. But I think maybe people get older, they think that way.
And what about the music? I mean, you guys are like the pioneer jazz music.
You know, I'm a purist about that too, and what I do is, I mean, there's nothing amplified here. You know, if you hear the music, you hear the music right out of the instruments. So you don't hear the music through speakers. And there's hardly any place you can go unless you go hear the symphony, where you'll hear the music from the instruments. Because every bit of music you will hear in the world, virtually, is coming through a speaker. Whether it's your car radio, or the gadget in your ear that's hanging around your neck, or the thing from your computer, everything, all the music you hear is through the speaker. And if you come here, you hear the music from the instruments. And that is a big deal, you know? That's a big deal.
So which instrument do you play?
I play the cornet.
Very nice.
So when you hear that sound, what you're hearing is not the speaker vibrating, it's my lip. Okay, there's a difference. And so that's it. The blend that you get is not from the guy over here with some knobs, it's from the musicians listening to each other. You know?
Yes.
And so that's an important thing that's going on.
The distinction.
Important aesthetic that's happening. And it almost doesn't exist anywhere anymore. There's nowhere else that you can go and hear any jazz music that is done this way without amplification. And I know of, I don't even know any place in the world that does it. You know, you can hear classical music done that way. And occasionally, rarely, you can hear classical guitar or something like that. But almost very rarely, because everybody wants to be able to have a big crowd here. So anyway, you got me on my soapbox. Well, what else can I tell you? What else can I tell you, darlings? I am here for you.
Jim's done a lot. One of Jim's big dreams is to try and keep jazz music alive through teaching children music at an early age. So he's working on a curriculum that to try and bring it back to schools. And of course, this is not an easy thing to do right now when, the legislature is starting to cut everything, and of course fine arts of all types are on the chopping block. But he has a great, dream in his head of passing on that music. And right now, one of the things I've done is I've been helping them with the redesign of their website, which Rackspace is also underwriting. And so in a couple of weeks, hopefully, it's going to debut. But I've never seen a website that does more live streaming music than this page. It's really quite astounding, the amount of rich media assets that are on their website now, and that's what's taking so long, because it's, you don't want to lose it all. We've got to kind of move it all over into the next thing. So they have a great YouTube channel, and a lot of the performances from the jazz band are on the Riverwalk Jazz YouTube channel. So they've got a lot without being really boastful about it. They've got a very active Facebook page with I think it's something like, is it 6,000 fans? I can't remember. So between Facebook and YouTube and the streaming capabilities on the new website, they've got some really great media stuff to share all the things, because the band can't be everywhere, right, Jim?
Yeah.
So what's the website? What's the website? Where do we go? Where do we start? Riverwalkjazz.org. And the YouTube channel is Riverwalk Jazz. Same Facebook page. It's all Riverwalk Jazz. Real easy to find. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, so what are we going to hear tonight?
Well, you're going to hear this. It's always a 7-piece ensemble. Oh, I say always. Occasionally we play with 6 pieces because our trombone player has gotten to the point where he's sometimes in and out of the group. But it's always a 7-piece group. It's a 4-piece rhythm band. Oh, it's always the same. Always the same musicians. Almost always. I mean, occasionally it's a sub or something, but and you'll hear that the rhythm is based on
I've been following a long time, and I've never met you in person.
the string bass, rhythm guitar, bass drum, all playing those swinging high, and then accents and things. And improvise on top of that. and then there's the horns do layer over that all kind of improvisation, sometimes collective improvisation, which is unique to the form. Doesn't exist in other kinds of jazz, doesn't exist in rock and roll, doesn't exist in classical music. It's unique to the form, where it's collective improvisation. Horns, improvising simultaneously, because you would think they just step all over each other, which they don't do because we've done it a lot. It's a special kind of art to do that. Improvise. It's like if you and I learned to make a little talk, we learned to think together so well that we were able to talk, and I would say it's 3 or 4 words, and you'd say 2 or 3 words, and you'd say 2 words, and I'd say 3 words, and it would all make sense. It's pretty tricky.
That's fantastic. We're really excited to be here to, participate, to share this with the online community, and to, increase. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Good. Glad you're here.